In this we're going to show you how to use the Komodo platform AtomicDEX API's Makerbot functionality. At the moment this API method is only available in the dev branch of the Komodo API software, along with a few extra features including Telegram alerts which can let you know when your trades have been executed. If you're curious to learn more about this API, all the methods within and the parameters that can be used for customization, head over to the developers.komodo.platform.com documentation site. It's quite comprehensive. To make things a little bit easier to get started with, we've put together this Python-based terminal user interface, or TUI, which you can load up, and it's got some basic menu options there to set up your Makerbot and see what's going on. Before we clone the repository, you might just need to install a few dependencies. You can just copy that line there, paste it into a terminal window, put in your sudo password, and there we go. Step 2, another simple copy paste. We'll just clone the repository and enter the folder that it's in. Let's have a look around. Okay, so you might notice one of the things in this repository is this requirements.txt file. We have a look at the contents of that. We've got mnemonic and requests. And these are Python packages which are used. Mnemonic is a library by Trezor which generates seed phrases and a bunch of other things. And requests is a HTTP library which we'll use to communicate with the AtomicDEX API. So to make sure that those are installed, we'll just do a pip3 install -r requirements.txt. Now we're ready to run the Makerbot. So I'll just open another terminal window, maximize, type in makerbot.py. And the first thing it's going to do here is ask me for a seed phrase to put into the mm2 JSON file, which is required to run the AtomicDEX API. You can generate one that'll use the nomics library from Trezor that we mentioned earlier, or you can enter one manually if you want to, say, import your seed phrase from another wallet. So I'm just going to select to enter one manually. And we can see it's created that mm2 JSON file. It's created a user pass file which contains our RPC password. And it's also seen that we don't have a coins file, so it's just downloaded that. The coins file is from the Komodo platform repository. It contains a whole bunch of information about MM2 compatible coins, what protocol they're running on, if there's contract addresses for things like Ethereum and so on, and a few other bits and pieces, what the dust size is, what transaction fees might be, and so on. Next thing the Makerbot is going to ask us is what are the tickers of coins that we want to sell. So I'm going to put in DGB, Doge and LTC. Tickers of coins that I want to buy, I'm going to go with BTC, KMD and Doge. Minimum trade value, I'll go for $5. Maximum trade value, I'll go for $200. For the minimum and maximum trade value, you want to choose something that isn't so low on the minimum that fees make up a fair percentage. And for the maximum, you might not want to trade all of your balance in a single swap. So setting the maximum trade value means that you'll have more trades of a lower value, but as the price changes with the market, it'll sort of smooth out to a bit more of an average. Next, we need to enter a spread percentage. So this is how much that we'll be putting our orders up on the order book above the price returned from the price service. So I'm going to go for something like 2.5%, which is pretty safe. And now it wants to know the refresh rate, which is how often are we going to update the prices of our orders. You don't want to do this too often because people might be looking at your order and then it updates before they have a chance to click on it. But you don't want to leave it too long either because prices can move pretty quickly. Anything between about 2 and 5 minutes is not too bad, so I'm just going to keep it at the 180 default. And you can see that it's given me a summary of the settings that I've just entered. And if that all looks about right, I'll click yes to confirm. Okay, you can see the Makerbot has detected that we don't have the MM2 binary. For convenience, it'll download the latest dev build. We'll just click enter to continue. And it'll start the download. So this will probably take about 5 minutes or so. Go grab a coffee, pat the dog, and I'll catch up with you again in a couple of minutes. Once the download is finished, Makerbot will automatically extract that zip file and start the AtomicDEX API. You see this little message here. We can copy that, open another terminal window, paste it and have a look, and you can see the Makerbot logs are running without a problem there. So if you ever have any issues, you can check the logs, see if there's something's gone wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and close that window now. And now that the API is running, we've got a little bit of a status area up the top here. It tells us which version of MM2 we're running. Because we've just started it up, we don't have any swaps active, complete, or failed. We have a balance of 0, no coins enabled, 0 orders active. First thing we might want to do is activate some coins. So I'll just go to option 3 and let's activate Ethereum. There we go. And you can see now that we've activated Ethereum, we have 1 coin active up the top there. Now we can start the Makerbot. So I'll select option 0 and it will automatically activate any other coin within our settings which is not yet activated. Gives us a bit of a look at what our configs are and lets us know that it started up with 8 pairs. And even though we've got 8 pairs set, we still have 0 orders active. The reason for that is that we have no balance. We've got nothing to trade. So let's go to option 4, view balances. And this gives us the addresses that we need to put funds in before we can start placing orders. Once you've sent a few coins to those addresses, you'll see your balance up here will change. So we're ready to go with trading. So I'm going to go ahead and hit 0 for start the Makerbot. And you can see the settings we set up earlier with the 2.5% spread, minimum $5, maximum $200, all in effect. And Makerbot has started up with 8 pairs. Now here I've only got 5 orders active. Let's have a look at those orders. And the 3 I don't have active, I guess would relate to the BTC because even though they're in my settings, if I don't have any funds on that wallet, I can't place an order. So, now let's say Elon's just tweeted out something about Doge. Maybe we want to be a little bit more competitive on the order book. So I'm going to update my Doge orders here. I've selected menu option 1. You can see everything's at the 2.5%. I want to drop my spread on Doge a little bit on the buy side. Hit C to update a coin. Enter Doge as the ticker. Update the buy side. I'll keep my minimum trade at $5. I'll increase my maximum to 400. and I'll drop the spread to 1.3. Now you see this little warning down the bottom here. It tells us we need to stop and restart the Makerbot before these settings will take effect. All the current orders I have and the next loop around when the prices are updated will still be at 2.5% until I've stopped the Makerbot, which is option 2. And that'll take however long our refresh rate was to take effect. And we can kind of track that down the bottom here as well with that command before to tail the logs. And you can see there it says it will stop within 180 seconds. Another chance to grab a coffee and pat the dog. Alright, we can see in the logs now the bot has stopped and all the orders were cancelled. So now we can go ahead and restart the bot. You can see in the meantime I've dropped my spread even further just to make sure that we get a few bites at the cherry. And another reason you might want to leave the logs open is you can see every time the orders are placed. When somebody matches an order and the swap starts, we'll see that pop up down in the logs as well. And there you go. We've just matched a KMD to Doge swap. And you can see as the progress goes on, we'll get a new update down in the logs there as well. Depending on the chains that you're swapping, the faster the chains that you're swapping, the faster the swap will complete. Coins like Bitcoin with a 10-minute block time are going to take longer than something like Komodo with a 1-minute block time. So we can see now with that lower spread, I've got 3 swaps active. Actually looks like one of them just finished. Running away from me. We've got a few swaps again, option 6. So you can see by the summary, my most popular pair is Digibyte for KMD, which I've made about 40 cents on. And broken down by coins individually, I'm up about $90 worth of KMD, and I've sent out about 40 bucks worth of Litecoin, about 33 worth of Digibyte, and about 15 bucks worth of Doge, all for a grand total profit of about 80 cents, which isn't too bad for a few clicks. Now that I've made a little bit of profit through the Makerbot in KMD, I might just transfer some funds down to the Discord tip bot. So for that I'll go option 8, withdraw funds. So I've got a balance table there, it lets me know how much I've got available to send. I'm going to withdraw some KMD. I'll send 20 to my tip bot address. So it gives us that transaction ID, and then have a look at Block Explorer. Search the transaction ID, and you can see my funds are on their way. Now that the Makerbot is all set up and configured and everything is running smoothly, we can exit the tool if we like. Option 9. It'll ask if we want to stop the AtomicDEX API. Generally, you don't want to stop it, especially if you've still got swaps in progress. If we stop the API, those swaps will not complete. If you want to keep the bot running, you don't want to stop the API either. So we'll answer no there. And it'll drop us back out into the console. So there's also a few single command scripts within this folder. They'll put out the same as what we see within the Makerbot, the swaps table, balances table, and orders table. And if we want to jump back into the TUI at any time, we just do makerbot.py again. Another option is to loop the views with option 7. Every 20 seconds or so it'll loop through the tables, and you can just leave that running in the background and check in on it periodically to see how things are going. And just use Control-C to break out of that loop. And that brings us to the end of this presentation. Thanks for watching. Happy trading. And if you're interested, I recommend checking out our AtomicDEX wallets on mobile and desktop systems at atomicdex.io.